Hey, welcome to the webcast tonight. I'm so excited you've joined us for Secrets of Millionaire Bloggers. Tonight we have some awesome content lined up for all of you. We've brought on some of the top bloggers in the company to share with you what a few of their secrets, their tips, their tricks, their strategies, their favorite tools are that really help them to create blogs that attract traffic, that generate leads, and that convert those leads into sales and into cash in their business. These are the secrets that you don't hear talked about very often, so I'm excited that we've got them to agree to reveal these for us tonight. We've got a great lineup of guests, and we're going to be doing a little bit of Q&A. So as you hear each person sharing what their secrets are, go ahead and put your questions into chat. Jamie will get those to us, and we can ask them while we're live. Your questions about the strategies that they're sharing. Make sure also that you download on the left of me, the right of me, that way. There should be a button that says download your PDF. It's a PDF we put together for you that you can print out to take notes and to keep action steps and ideas so that you can walk away from this webcast with an action plan. So you don't just come here, spend the next hour or 90 minutes learning some really great strategies, and then it's in your head and never goes into effect. But you'll walk away with an action plan, your own notes, where you can take that and right away start implementing what you learned so you really get results from the time that you're spending here. So with that, let me go ahead and kick it over to the first person who's going to share with us his secrets to blogging success, and that is Dave Wood.
Well, I'm happy. I just hopped on the hangout as my usual, 5 minutes late, and then it's my turn to talk. I'm happy to be here with you guys today for a lot of reasons. Right now, I'm actually down at Hocko Beach. I'm staying at this really nice resort. I've been here a lot. I don't know if you can see it in the background. It's the Los Sueños Marriott. Hold on, I'll get out of the way, and then maybe you can see it now. But anyways, that's Hocko Beach down there. I came down here with my family. And being here really, for me, is the reason why I like to blog, right? Because building a business like this allows me to really to build my business from wherever I'm at, wherever I live in the world. I want to tell you a couple of quick stories here, and then I want to share some ideas that have helped me along the way. When I got started blogging, it was 2009, and the reason I got started in this particular way of marketing wasn't because everybody thought it was the best way who was in my niche. In fact, the way that I was building my business was the least preferred way at the time. Everybody wanted to build their business by utilizing paid advertising strategies. What was popular then was Google pay-per-click. And so the people that had the largest businesses in the niche were people that scaled out massive Google pay-per-click campaigns. And a lot of people on this panel remember that or were a part of that or saw people doing it. I know Aaron had massive PPC going on and got slammed along with the 8 million other marketers who got slammed off Google pay-per-click, and he adapted and survived, but a lot of them didn't. I got started in that niche because I didn't have a choice. I didn't have another way of marketing because I had no money. So I kind of defaulted to what was free. And there was a lot of advantages to that because I had to market in a way where I couldn't really invest any sort of a large budget or really any budget at all towards advertising. I had to do it to kind of blood, sweat, and tears. I was able to discover a different way of doing things that produced a result that rather than getting slapped or going away has just continued to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow and grow and grow organically over now the last 5 years. And so I got into blogging kind of by default, but what happened after a short while is I started having kind of this content flood across the internet of things that I wrote and things that I had made on video and things that I had done for social media syndication that just kind of built on top of each other and started making enough money to where I moved down here to Costa Rica in Central America, started living on the beach at the time. Actually, I started living originally about an hour south from where I am here, which is a little town called Parita, on the beach called Playa Palo Seco. Parita actually means female dog, which basically describes the town, not the funnest place to live. But I was able to, from moving from Alaska to Costa Rica, continue to build my business really on a weird schedule without missing a beat. And since that time, I've traveled to countries all around the world and I've been able to maintain and build my traffic and sales now for 5 years without ever spending any money on advertising. Really, and that's literally true with me. I've never done paid advertising well. When we've done it in Empower Network, we've had other people do it. Never doing paid advertising, not doing really most of the things that normal marketers do, working a lot less than most marketers, so I spend a lot less money, and I've made a lot more money over time than almost anybody on the internet, and the reason I've been able to do that is because of the consistent kind of traffic flow and the consistent kinds of sales that blogging produces. And so that's the reason why I do it. I do it because it enables me to build a business that I can detach from, and because I've created so much content and put so much energy out there in the marketplace, when I've been working, when I detach or when I disappear, or if I travel across the world, or if I'm speaking at a seminar somewhere, or if I'm traveling somewhere with my family, or if I'm taking a vacation in the mountains, or if I just need to think for a little bit, when I detach from my business because of the way it's built and because of the kind of traffic that blogging produces, which is more like running water in a stream or something. I go on that for hours. Because of that, my business literally keeps operating when I'm not. So why does that work, and how do you do it? Well, I would prefer, for most of the how to do it, I would prefer to turn it over to more tactical people, because I'm like this weird story guy. I like to tell stories and use metaphors and things like that. And a lot of that's useful for blogging. But a lot of times I actually like listening to people like Chris Record, or listening to somebody who's really tactical on marketing strategies like Aaron Raskin or something like that, or Michelle. There's a lot of people that I prefer to listen to when I'm talking about tactics. But why does it do that? I believe that there's a handful of reasons why. If you look at most marketers on the internet, especially in our niche, network marketing, Eric Worre, who runs Network Marketing Pro, did a blog post like 2 or 3 days ago that actually was forwarded to me by Jonathan Cronson. I almost always watch his videos. And he did a video, and I can't remember what it was called, but I think it was something along the line of like, it was something that the title was like, God Save Us from MLM Idiots, or something like that. And what he was attacking in the video, was online MLM idiots, people that get involved in a business opportunity or get involved in some way of making money as an affiliate, and rather than giving any value, and rather than building a list through giving people what it is that they want, they just go plaster their business opportunity all over the planet. They say, I just joined a new recycler chain. Join at the top level and you're going to earn an extra 3%. I just got involved in the hottest growing business on earth, bar none. There's nothing hotter than this. I just joined yesterday. It's still in pre-launch. Click here. I'm in the coolest business in the world. People even do it in Empower Network. I'm in Empower Network. There's nothing like it. It's the best, most hottest deal ever. Click here. The problem with that is not only is nobody interested in it, but even if it works for a very short time, your sphere of influence runs out really quick, and they just start blocking your posts. They start blocking your approaches at them. Facebook doesn't like it. Twitter doesn't like it. Google doesn't like it. So what happens over time, the more spammy network marketers are, the more spammy biz op people are, the more social networks and the more organizations they get kicked out of. You know what I mean? It'd be like if you ran a networking group in your local area. Excuse me if there's background noise here. I'm at a hotel. It'd be like if you ran a networking group, which is really what Facebook is. Facebook is like a networking social platform. But if you ran a networking group, and there was like a guy who smelled bad, who came to every meeting, and when he met everybody, he said, by the way, I'm in a hot new deal, and if you get in now, you get in at the top. Here's my card. Give me a call so I can help you learn how to join. If they did that, what would you do? You'd kick them out of the group. So as a result of that, because people in our industry don't really give any value, they just advertise and they hawk stuff most of the time, people get kicked out of like kind of every kind of social group that there is. And network marketing, direct sales, home business has a bad name in a lot of groups. And it doesn't have a bad name because it's a bad business. It has a bad name because there's people who are idiots in it, and they go out and they promote it in a way that doesn't work in the first place, and so people kind of think that's what it is. Well, what blogging allows you to do is it allows you to do something that's totally different. What it allows you to do is it allows you to, rather than directly pitch your business, it allows you to indirectly do it. Let me explain what I mean. If you've got like a really compelling sales pitch over here, and that sales pitch is going to work, when people see it, they're going to join something, right? There's a lot of good pitches. I'm great at pitching stuff. In fact, if I get up here and I start selling something, you will have the desire to pull out your credit card and buy it, pretty much no matter what it is. If I just took a shoe off and decided to sell it, and 15 minutes later you'd be pulling out your credit card and you'd be wanting to buy that shoe for whatever reason. I've got a knack for selling stuff, I'm good at it, and I've studied it, and I've gotten better at it over the years, right? If I've got this really great sales presentation, that's like 90% of the battle. You got that great sales presentation, right? Well, the other half of the battle is getting people to actually watch that presentation, right? Now, you can get people to watch a presentation in really small numbers if you just run around town, like, you know, you've got a video and you've said, hey, I've got the hottest deal ever, watch this video. But I promise you, if you walk around town, you had a great DVD or a video or an online presentation, and you just hit random people up and you say, I have the hottest deal you've ever seen in your entire life, you've got to see this, maybe 1 in 100 or 1 in 150 people that you approached would watch it. And the rest of them would just think you are the biggest moron on the planet, just truthfully, right? They wouldn't even look at it. They wouldn't watch it. You may have experienced that in home business. I mean, I went through a phase like 12 years ago where I literally walked from business to business to business to business, just pitching people and giving them audio CDs. And I thought they'd actually listen to these things. But the reality was is I'd leave that business, and they probably about had a heart attack laughing at me because I looked so stupid. All right? And that's what most people do when they're getting people to a sales presentation. Well, when you indirectly market your business, here's what you do instead. You have that great sales presentation, that great sales process, but rather than stuffing it down people's throats, what you do is you give them something that they want on the front end. They come to you because of the thing that they already want that you're showing them how to solve for free, right? And then because they're there already and they're enjoying the value that you're giving, you say, that same sales presentation that's over there that they kind of click through on their own, right? They just click through it on their own because they want to, and somebody who didn't watch your presentation, didn't want to see it, wasn't even looking for it, all of a sudden now is sort of sucked into it because you didn't shove it down your throat. See, what blogging does is it enables you to give value to solve people's problems, to show them how to do things they don't know how to do, to show them how to find resources they didn't know how to find, to show them how to market in ways they didn't know how to market, to really answer their questions that they're looking for online, to give them what they want. And because they're there, it enables you to capture the leads and to sell to them on a really consistent basis. And the real advantage of it is that the longer that you do it, the better it works. I've looked at some of the people that have been blogging for 4 or 5 years, and the larger your following gets, the more easy it becomes over time to get more leads, to get more traffic, and to get more sales. So it doesn't just work well. It's not just a great way to approach people in your warm market and markets that you don't even know, right? Because by the time they get to their opt-in, by the time they get to their offer, they're already warmed up to you as a person, right? It works better the longer it is that you do it. So I didn't really have any magical secrets. I prefer to turn magical secrets over to people that are actually magical people. I'm just a guy who really wanted a different kind of a life and was willing to be consistent. All right. So a few years ago, let me tell you what I told a couple of guys. Okay, I ran into a couple of guys back right after. It was actually about a year after I'd started blogging. Right, and I was making a lot of money. I was making like, at the time, 40 grand a month or something. See our income disclosure below this video, by the way. I was making just a lot of money, okay, blogging. And there's actually 2 of them, right? One of them walked up to me, and he said, I want you to teach me how it is that you do what you do. I'll pay you $10,000. I'll fly down to your house, you know, whatever it is that you want. Now, I hate doing personal coaching just because it's a waste of my time, right? I won't even do it for 10 grand. A lot of people are like, you know, they do that because they want to and they enjoy it. I don't really enjoy it. I'd rather hang out with people and make a bunch of money doing something else and then coach people who deserve it for free. This is just how I am, right? Anyway, so I was like, here, let me help you out. It's going to take 5 minutes, right? Now, I'm not going to tell you this person's name, but everybody on this board knows who this guy is, right? This is guy number 1. And so I brought him backstage at this event we were speaking at, and I said, all right, let's sit down for a second. I want to explain to you what you need to do if you want to really make a lot of money from your business on the internet. At the time, this guy was building almost exclusively offline, all right? Here's what I told him to do. I said, I want you to build your list however you build it. Every day I want you to write a blog post, right, that gives value to your list, something that they want to hear. Every day I want you to email your list to that blog post. I want you to post that list in your social networks and your groups that you're building, right? And that's it. And then lead them back into a single sales process, and you already know how to do that because you're building a network marketing organization. That's all I want to do. And just keep doing it and don't ever stop, right? And he goes, okay, right? Now that was like 4 years ago. Now here's the funny thing. That guy, right, has now done that for like 4 years straight. Well, at the time, right, he was in one business that later changed into another one. Now, at the time, he was in this sort of weird phase where he was building all of his business through his warm market. His warm market had ran out. Well, today that guy is making 6 figures a month, okay, without doing any paid advertising, every single month, literally doing almost nothing other than what I told him to do in that 5-minute conversation. It's not rocket science, it's not complicated. Look, Justin Barangio, what did he do when he was really earning his $1 million rate? He could tell you the story, right? What did he really do? He built a list through Facebook PPC, right? And he sells courses on that stuff, on how to build a list through Facebook PPC. It really isn't rocket science. We're not talking about something that goes through like 4 years of like weird math and science to learn how to do it. He built a list through Facebook PPC, and then he wrote a blog post every day on the Empower Network blogging platform that led them back into a sales funnel that was selling the blog that he was using, right? And he just gave value to his list every single day. He emailed out to his list every single day, and I could show you the traffic stats on that blog when he was using the Empower Network version 1 blogging platform. It's totally inferior to what we're doing now. And his sales just kept going up, his traffic just kept going up, and his income went from $7,000 a month to $27,000 a month to where he had an $80,000 month like 3 or 4 months later, and that's literally all he was doing. I could point it out. He wasn't calling and closing people on the phone because blogging replaced the need to do it, right? And he was posting those things in social networks and stuff like that. That's literally all he's doing, right? Now, we can break down some scientific magical strategies, but if you've got a sales process that works, and you've got a content platform that could give value to your list, and you've got a central, organized way of getting people through some sort of organized sales process, like we've got in Power Network, a lot of you guys are affiliates, what do? You build a list however you can. It's a high-quality list, right? A lot of it will be built through blogging as time goes by. I've built all my lists through blogging. You write a valuable post every day with a call to action to get started, right? Justin could get into that. We could have anybody on this board get into how to do an effective call to action, right? You write a valuable blog post every single day that gets people to actually open your emails, so they open your emails in large numbers, and you just keep being there and there and there and there and there. And the longer you do it, and it doesn't take a lot of time, the longer you do it, the easier it is, the better it works, and the bigger it gets, because as your list and your community grows, what happens is the people that that open your emails grow, the people that click on your blog posts grow, the people that comment on your blog posts grow, the PR and the authority of your site continues to increase as your community starts to grow and grow and grow and grow, and what used to take 6 months now starts taking 6 days and then 2 days, and then you're doing every 1 day what used to take you a month or 2 months or 6 months. And I can attest to that because after only 90 days of implementing that strategy, as dumb and as simple it is, right? And I know that I didn't even share with you anything profound, but that strategy I shared has gotten 2 people to 6-figure blogging months consistently, month after month after month. The only 2 people I've ever ran into that have done it for a long enough period of time. And that strategy, it works. It's been time tested. It's been proven. And it's just something that's simple as hell to do. The complex part about it is actually getting the funnel in place. And the other complex part about it is getting a good blogging platform that gets traffic quickly. Those are the 2 things that are actually complicated about that formula. The simple part is writing posts every day and building a list. That's the easiest thing in the world to do. It's the easiest thing in the world to teach. The reason why you can be excited about this, and the reason you should be excited about the Kalatu platform, the reason you should be excited about the next event, is that that's where all these things are coming together. So I'm going to kind of leave you with these thoughts, and then we've got to do a round robin, and I'm going to come back on here later if we have time and kind of close this out. But the thing that I encourage you guys to do is, number 1, get very excited about what we're doing. Number 2, you guys need to build right now for the next event that we're doing here in Las Vegas. We decided to move our event from wherever it was to Las Vegas. We paid everybody's change fees and everything, I think. And the reason we did that is because we know people are easy to get to Las Vegas. And I've never done an event before in Las Vegas because I actually don't like Las Vegas at all. But my lady, she wants to see a bunch of shows out there, and she's excited to go, and I want to go and take her to Las Vegas. And so I'll go to Las Vegas for that. But I'm moving the event there because I want it to be an exciting place for you to go to. So what we're doing, and I think that there's like a week left or something, depending on where you're seeing it, but I don't know how long we're going to leave this offer to. We're doing a Christmas, some sort of a Christmas deal or something on the tickets where we're reducing them by like almost 50%. And I think tickets right now are $107 to get to that event in Las Vegas. And if you're on here, what you want to do is you want to, number one, listen to what I just said and how simple it is. And number two, get into the beta group that we're going to be rolling out across our whole member group as quick as possible, as quick as you possibly can. But the thing you need to do right now, I believe that whether it's there now or whether it's there in 5 minutes, I believe that it's going to be over on that side. There should be a button appearing that has tickets to that next event. And you need to pull out your credit card right now and buy your tickets to that next event, because we're doing some really cool stuff there that we're rolling out with the blogging platform. We have some really cool announcements. As you guys have seen, we've been doing this rollout different than we've done things in the past, because we want to make sure we're bringing you the best product possible. We have some real cool people speaking at this next event. I'm not going to get into that, but I just want you guys to basically pull out your credit card and do that, because we might take that offer down at any time. So with that being said, Michelle, I'm going to turn it back over to you to turn it back around the next person. We'll bring some tactical people out and share some different strategies. We'll be on here for an hour or two. And I just wanted to tell you guys, this stuff works, okay? It does work. It works if you're consistent with it, okay? And the beautiful thing about it is it hasn't just worked for me for like a month or something like that. This is not something I just came up with yesterday and wanted to sell. This is what I've been doing since 2009. I know people that have been doing this since like 1999 and 1995, and it literally works better and faster today than it did when they started on the internet, than when they started blogging. So I'm excited about it, as you can see. I just want to turn it back over to you, Michelle, and if you want to pass the ball around, that'd be great. I'm going to mute myself out. Let me know if you need anything. And if you guys have questions or something, I'll be happy to come on after everybody's spoken and do my best to answer questions at the end.
Absolutely. Thanks, Dave. And the button is live on the page. Make sure you grab your ticket. Like Dave said, it's $107, and that's only for the next 7 days. It's like 57% off. And you're going to hear from so many people, including Dave, with more about blogging and how to really make your business a success at this event. So make sure you click the button. And I just want to say, I know Dave said that he wasn't here to really give you any secrets, that he was going to leave the tactical stuff to some of the other people on the call, but if you're taking notes, I want you to notice 4 things. Write down 4 things that Dave just taught you. Number 1, and everyone who is successful with a blog has figured this out, be a storyteller. Share your stories with a moral that illustrates something, just like Dave did just now. He shared stories with you that illustrated what it was he wanted you to remember. That's number 1. Number 2, tell people what to do. How many times did Dave tell you exactly what to do? You've got to do that with your blog. Number 3, don't be afraid to sell. Be confident, be enthusiastic about it, because you know the results people are going to get, right? If they join you, if they work hard, don't be afraid to sell. Number 4, sell indirectly. Dave told you, solve problems for people, give them value, solve their problems free, and then they're going to want to find out more about your opportunities and what you're up to. So he really did just give you a whole bunch of secrets to really building $1 million blog. And he's right, the biggest secret is just to be consistent with it. Take those daily actions and you will see results. So let me toss this now to the next person on our list. Chris Record is here. He's going to come on and share some behind the scenes with you from Kalatu beta testing and a few of his own tips and secrets on how to really build a successful blog. Chris, are you there?
I'm here, Michelle.
Awesome.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Hey, it's always great hanging with everybody. Of course, I'd like to start by just giving props to all the leaders here on this panel, especially David Wood. Haven't had a chance to hang with David Wood in a little while. That's always good. And I just love hanging out with all the leaders. So listen, I don't want to take a lot of time in the presentation today, but what I do want to do is just share with you the honest just excitement and the buzz that's being created right now with Kalatu. And I'm still here at the office. It's just been a fun, long work day for me. And you know what? Here's what I want to do. I want to basically share a couple things first on my screen, and then I want to come back and just give you just kind of a from-the-heart vision about what's going on, very, very brief and stuff like that. But let me see if I could just quickly cruise over here and share my screen, just because there's some cool things that I think that we could check out. So Michelle, I don't know if you guys can all see my screen there or not. Hopefully you can.
I can see it.
Cool. Okay,
Awesome.
so it's probably going to be small for a lot of you at watching at home, depending on your computer screen. So I'll just read it. Here's one of our beta testers, Brian Felton, just posted this literally like 37 minutes ago when I took this screenshot. Ranked on the first page of Google with the new blog platform. Not signed into Google. He's using an incognito browser. This is valid. What he means is, you know, he's not seeing his like search results that are tailored to him. He's seeing what everybody else out there sees. And he's in good company. Here's my buddy Rob Four sitting right next to him. So first things first, people are already starting to see rankings and they're already starting to see results. Another thing I want to point out, here's Lisa Torres Allen, who's also part of our beta testing group. And she goes, I just got my first sale from my Kalatu blog, boom. And you look here, she got a lead that came in off of the sidebar banner ads that we have. There's default banners, there's default calls to action, things that are already pre-installed to be able to help you out, and you can modify them. And she basically has this going into her list. She's able to connect it to her Aweber, and that's all automatic. You remember the old ones, you had to really do this manually. Now a lot of it is very automated. A lot of it is very user-friendly. It's a lot easier to set up. And then just minutes later, she got a new member, which ended up purchasing the viral blogging system. And that was just when she took the screenshot. Who knows what that member will go on to do from this point on. But I wanted to share just a couple little things of excitement, because it is exciting, because this is what we're doing it for, right? What we want to do is we want to get more traffic, more leads, and more sales. More traffic, more leads, and more sales. And the way to do that is to, number one, is traffic, right? So you start from the beginning. In order to get to sales, you need to kind of work backwards. Okay, in order to get traffic, you're going to need compelling content that people want to read. You're going to need to be able to share it and promote it well on the web. You're going to need to be found when people are searching for you. And you're going to want to blog about things that people are looking for. You know, one of the best things that I learned how to do when I was just getting started with blogging was I put myself in the position of when I go to Google. When I go to Google, what do I search for? And it's very rarely ever one big word. Like, I don't go there and search for real estate, right? I go there and I search for something very specifically that's usually 5 or 6 or even 7 words to find exactly what I'm looking for. And so I learned to reverse engineer that. What are the things that people would sit there and search for? How can you become the thing that they're looking for? How can you solve the problem they're looking to solve? So maybe somebody has even something as simple as has a problem with their blog. Maybe they're looking for a WordPress tip, and next thing you know, they see Michelle's blog because she's posted an article about how to overcome this WordPress issue, or maybe they ran into a problem. So think, people go to the internet for various reasons. One of the biggest ones is that they have a problem and they know they're one click away from finding the answer. And if your post is the answer, then you've drawn them in. And if they end up on your site and they go, wow, this is pretty impressive, and next thing you know, they want to opt into your email list. Next thing you know, they want to click 2 or 3 blog posts and start learning more about you. And now suddenly you've made a connection with somebody, a total stranger, anywhere in the world, you've made a connection, all because you provided value to their life. And that's what really got me excited about blogging, was the power to do that. So if you have the basic foundation, which is you have a good blog platform, you have the ability to post content, then you're going to be all good. Now from there, what you want to do is you want to basically move into promotion. When you move into promotion, that's where this thing starts to go crazy. And here's what we love about this with Kalatu, is that we're handling a lot of the promotion for our members. We're doing a lot of SEO work behind the scenes. We're helping out with a lot of syndication. We're really getting a community, a tribe being built here with this community. That's what I love about this. And so what you're seeing is the beginning phases, the beginning stages of something that's going to be so powerful. Right now in our closed beta round, we've got about roughly 500 users, and so far things are loading fast, things are going well, bugs are being found, but they're being fixed very quickly. And if you hang in there right now, get your name on the waiting list to be able to join the next release of beta. Get your name on the list, and very, very soon you're going to be able to start blogging with this platform. So we're going to provide you with the platform, the system, the tools, and the resources. We're also going to provide you with training. We're going to provide you with the how-to, things like what to blog about, what are some niches, and how to be able to go into those niches. You don't just have to blog about internet marketing or biz ops, right? You can blog about sports. You can blog about your favorite TV show. There's so much you can do when you learn how to convert that traffic into leads. And then once you have leads, then it's just all a matter of communicating with your audience. I learned a long time ago that sales is communication. Sales is communication. So my goal is to be able to get a large audience and then learn how I can communicate to that audience, because that's essentially selling, right? You can go way back to even biblical days, right? I mean, how does religion spread so fast? How does all this stuff happen? It's because it's all about your ability to communicate a message and get people excited about it. And so if you build a big list, here's your audience that you can pitch your message to. So that converts into sales, and sales is the bottom line. Sales is money, sales is revenue, sales is where it's at. So, hey, I'm excited. I'm just excited to be part of this, and we're working long days every single day. So it's been a lot of fun, and this is one of the few times you're ever going to catch me in an empty office right now. As funny as it is, I just switched the camera a few over there in my office. It's just super empty out here, but normally this place is buzzing. And, you know, we've got computer desks up everywhere, whiteboards everywhere, brainstorming, doing everything here. So we're here at the headquarters working, doing this to be able to help you have a better chance for success. So if you're excited, we're excited, and that's the reason we're doing it. So unless you have questions for me, Michelle, I just wanted to come out and share some positive vibes with everybody.
That's awesome, Chris. We're so excited to have you on here. I know you are just absolutely crazy swamped getting everything set up for us on Collatio. Your team has been doing just an amazing job. You know, I was thinking as you were giving that example of people going to type in WordPress problems, and that is where a lot of my traffic comes from. But that's what I love so much about what you've built, is that you're solving so many of them. I sat down the other day to brainstorm some blog post ideas, and I'm like, well, there's no reason for me to blog about this, because really it's going to be solved as soon as we release this. I think that's so awesome that, you know, the SEO is built in, the right plugins are built in. You don't have to go trying to find what to install or where to put it or any of that technical stuff anymore. So I know everybody has got to be just as excited as I am to see this roll out of closed beta into open beta. So thank you to you and your team for all the work you guys are doing.
Right on.
Awesome. So if you are taking notes, and again, you better be, you're spending your time here, take notes so you can implement this stuff, guys. Chris gave you some awesome tips, and one of them is just so simple, and that is think about the questions you can answer for people. What are the problems they're struggling with? This is something that I discovered by accident, because when I started blogging, that's what I started doing. Was I didn't set out to be a blogger. I was like, I keep answering the same questions for my clients over and over again. Let me just throw them on a blog so that I can send people a link, and then I don't have to type out the answer again. And then my blog started getting traffic from the search engines, and I was like, what the heck's going on? I'm not promoting it. I don't know. And it was because I was just answering questions. Exactly what Chris just told you works even if you don't know what you're doing. It's that simple, and it's that powerful of a strategy. So that was a really great tip. Let's go to the next person we've got here. Like I said, we've got a fantastic panel for you of these secrets. And next we've got Tracy Walker. Tracy.
Hey, Michelle. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. How are
I am good. Well, you muted yourself, I guess, at the same time you were saying, how am I? But no, I am well. I'm glad that I could take a few moments to pop on here and share a little tip, I would say, about blogging that I'm sure a lot of the gurus that are here know, but for the people who are getting started and they're recognizing that, you know, blogging is a viable mechanism to generate sales, to generate leads, and to brand yourself as an expert in a chosen area or niche. Something that I would like to share that I've done over time is, you know, when you do your keyword research, you might find, you know, maybe 3 to 5 sweet keywords, right, in your first go around at getting some things done. You say, oh, these are great keywords. I'm going to. So Josiah thinks that those are great keywords too. You might find some 3 to 5 great keywords that you want to focus your time and attention on and write some great content, or hire someone to write the content for you. But here's something that I've noticed just from looking on the first pages of Google, is that someone might come up with a great keyword phrase or long long tail keyword phrase, and then they write one great post about it, and they might say, oh, I'm at position number 1 or position number 2 on the first page of Google, and they are screenshotting this whole thing and they're posting it all over the world, but somebody else is at position number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, and number 10, right? Because you've got 10 spots on that first page where there's no sponsored ads, right? The free part. And so my tip is that if you find a keyword where you are able to rank on the first page, especially rank, numbers 1 through 3, then what you want to do is you want to create additional content based around that exact keyword phrase so that you can dominate the whole page. Maybe it's going to be a YouTube video, right? Maybe you might do a podcast. Maybe you might write 2 or 3 or 4 blog posts about that keyword, but from a different angle, right? So you're not saying the same thing 5 different times, but you're positioning yourself from a different perspective on that keyword. And what happens is this: if I'm the person that you are looking to solve my problem, right, and I go to Google and I type in that keyword and your information pops up, and I go to position number 1 and I read it and I say, oh, you know what? That's Michelle. I liked what she had to say. And then I say, well, but I'm not sold yet, right? Because people don't always buy on the first thing or go deeper. They might say, well, let me go see what else is available. So they go to position number 2, right? And oh my goodness, here's this Michelle girl again. Right? Okay, this time she has a video. This is great. I love this. Well, let me go back. Let me try at least one more time. And they go to position number 7. They just skip down. They go to position number 7. And oh my God, it's this girl, Michelle, again. She must really be the authority on this particular topic. It's at this point in time where you are building rapport through through automation, right, and through systems by being present at as many of the positions as you can so that your potential customer looks and says, she's got to be the authority and the expert on this, because every time I click, I find her information. Now this person is clicking or following your call to actions in your blog post or on your videos. Now they're on your list. Now you're following up with them. And as you're sending them follow-ups and sending them broadcasts and updates, they are going to be sold on you. So that would be my tip, Michelle, to don't settle for just one position on the charts, right? Try to dominate the entire page for that keyword and focus and hone in on that and become the expert with that, whatever that keyword term is. That's it, Michelle. You there?
Okay, cool. I am here. That is a fantastic tip, Tracy. Some people explain, some of the simple really by, just put about it. And what you said that I want to make sure people write down in their notes. Blogging is how you get to be seen as an authority and an expert, just like Tracy told you just now. That's how people start to realize, hey, you've got good advice. You know what you're talking about. They can trust you. They get to know you. And when you build that with people, like Dave said at the beginning, they're going to naturally want to know more about what you're doing and about what you've got for sale or how they get on your team and get involved with you. So thank you, Tracy, for coming on. That's a fantastic tip. All right, let's see. Next, we've got Justin. Are you here? Are you ready?
Yes, I am here, and I am ready. Can you hear me loud and clear, Michelle?
I sure can.
Awesome. Excited to be here today. Just want to say welcome to this whole panel. It's just amazing people we're privileged to learn from today, and it's my honor to share some of the tidbits I've picked up over the past 3 years with Empower Network. And I just want to bring everyone back with my story. When I got started, I was going through some really rough times, and very similar to Dave, I got started just blogging. It wasn't actually until the San Diego event where I actually met Jabril is when I actually started doing Facebook PPC. So prior to San Diego, I never did any paid advertising. I just didn't have a desire to do so. I said, I'm going to figure out blogging, and I got to $30,000 a month. Results not typical, but that's strictly from blogging, as crazy as that sounds. So I want to help point you in the right direction, because blogging obviously works. One of the blogs I follow is on fire, and they publish their income, and this one blog has generated $253,000 in the month of October. So if you're really asking, can you make money blogging? Absolutely yes, without a shadow of a doubt, if you treat it serious. Because just like being a Jedi, you got to take it serious. You can't just call yourself a Jedi and not be trained with a lightsaber. You know what I mean? And the same thing with blogging. It's a marketing profession, and my suggestion is learning from other successful bloggers who are effectively blogging. People like Tracy Walker, Chris Record, Aaron Rashkin, David Wood, they're all on the panel for a reason, is because they actually know what they're doing. So I would subscribe to them, and I would just follow them in everything that they do and start to like model off of them and see why it is they're getting such great results. To me, that's like the fast shortcut to success. I love what Tracy mentioned with doing some keyword research, because there's multi-facets. It's like a double-edged sword. A blog you can use, obviously. If you have a good traffic source, you can do the whole trust thing where you're sharing your daily content, because blogging is all content at the end of the day. The more unique content that you're creating, the more real estate that you're putting out there in the marketplace, solving other people's problems. They're looking for a solution. They find you. Boom. That's ultimately traffic. And so you can use it to, like, for example, what Dave was mentioning, I generate a lot of traffic through Facebook PPC. Then I send them my blog. That's one way to close prospects into sales, but blogging can also be used for lead generation. I think that's where most of you watching this is at. It's like, I need to generate quality leads, or I don't have an ad budget. Well, blogging is obviously the best way to do that. Here's my recommendation. You can create a blog post and then just pray to the Google gods to get lucky. But most people I know who do that, they're like, Justin, they see me at an event, they're like, dude, I've written 8,000 blogs. I haven't gotten any leads yet. And unfortunately, there's no good of value, your blog, if nobody is reading it. So my advice, spend 80% of the time on your blog marketing it and 20% of your time creating it. Now, that doesn't mean put out crap people aren't going to appreciate. Always put your best foot forward. Always do your best to solve their problem. But at the same time, 80% of your energy needs to be focused on how am I going to get traffic. Now, there's multiple ways, and again, blogging is simple, but it's just truth. There's multiple ways to tap into that traffic. One of the ways is SEO. You go to Google, you type in Google Keyword Planner. It's a free keyword research tool. You type in a keyword. For example, I type in law of attraction, and then it gives me variations or phrases that are long tail, which are variations with more words, because if I try to rank for law of attraction, it's going to be difficult to surpass Louise Hay and Bob Proctor and Joe Vitale and all these legends, right? But if I can do keywords maybe that are a longer variation, like how to use law of attraction to attract wealth, or something of this nature, typically something at least like 4 or 5 words, it's a lot easier to rank for this stuff. And like I said earlier, blogging is your profession. If you're going to treat this serious, you should learn how to do some keyword research. It's actually self-explanatory when you type in keyword research into Google. Super simple to do. So a question I will commonly get is, Justin, I don't know what I'm an expert at. Where should I start? What should I blog about? The best challenge? Doing keyword research and creating a video based upon the keywords that you're researching, because it'll make you witty as a marketer. And if you actually did that every day, you'd be developing your skill set the same way. There's this lotus position in yoga, and the yogis sit in this cool position. I remember when I was like 14, and I read a book on Buddhist meditation, and I said, wow, that's a cool posture. Your legs are in this figure 8 for good energy flow, right? And like all this good stuff, you're grounded, very good. I said, I want to learn how to do that. I remember putting my legs in that figure 8, and I remember within 2 seconds, it felt like my knee was going to give out and my ankle was going to snap. And I said, holy shit, that is hard. Maybe I should do a half lotus, right? But here's what I did. I said every day I'm going to do a little better. So, I do the lotus for like 5 seconds. I'd be like, holy crap, I don't want to break my kneecap. And then every day I do a little better. And long story short, probably within 6 months' time, I was able to do a full lotus, and I could actually like fall asleep meditating, especially when I meditated at nighttime, which would happen. I don't recommend meditating while you're so tired because you end up going out of body. But nonetheless, I was able to do it, and I'm tying it back to blogging. When you do something every day and you're passionate about what you're doing, blog about things you're passionate about. Chris mentioned, if you're into sports, be blogging about sports, you know what I mean? Because it's easy to share content and unique, your unique ability to just communicate when you're passionate about what it is that you're doing. So when I'm sharing tidbits on the law of attraction, or I'm talking about meditation, or I'm talking about chess, or I'm talking about kung fu, or I'm talking about traveling the world, or I'm talking about speaking on stages, for Empower Network events, or regardless of whatever it is I am doing, I am so passionate about it. I'm connecting to other people who ultimately speak my language. And because of that connection, people are going to trust you. People are going to listen to the call to action, which you mentioned. How do you structure a blog post? I believe it's like very similar to how you structure a video, very similar to how you structure a Facebook post, because a Facebook post is really a blog because Facebook is a blog, and a video is the same structure. So here's what I do to feed multiple birds with one seed. I will create a video because I love video. Most all my blog posts are going to have videos on it because I want to bring the most valuable content I know how to bring, and I feel video is the best way to deliver that, and it's absolutely free to share video, so it's just like something everyone should be doing. So I'll create that content in my video. I'll do a pattern interrupt, step number 1, the first, process in the video creation, and then I will do a high value delivery, solving people's problems, because I got clear, set an intention before I actually created the video on what's the ideal prospect's problem, how can I solve it, how can I genuinely help them. And then step number 3 is the call to action, telling them exactly what to do next so they know what to expect and so that they actually do it, because people need to be told what to do. I'll use this process in my video. I'll use the same process, very similar, within the blog post. Now, here's an idea. You can shoot your video, do the work one time, but create a residual effect on your traffic, because you can go to Fiverr and you could basically transcribe that video for $5 or $10, depending upon the length. They charge you by the length. And you can actually get the content that you shared in the video if you're too lazy to actually sit there and write a blog post, because some people prefer just shooting videos. I prefer it a lot of times better, but I'll use that same content, and I don't transcribe it per se because I'm just creative and I like writing and expressing myself from different perspectives, but I'll create a variation of the content for the blog post very similar to the content in the video, even a very similar call to action, because I understand for SEO, search engine optimization, Google and the search engines are picking up on content per se, not necessarily video, but I can still use that same content and then go do what Tracy talked about, which is dominate the first page by creating a variation of that keyword, going to YouTube, uploading that same video I'm already using on my blog, and putting it up on YouTube so I can rank my blog using SEO on the first page of Google, and then I could rank my YouTube video. Then I can take that same exact content and go post it on my Facebook page, maybe a little bit of a variation because I'm not talking from a perspective of a blog post, little twist, and then I can take that same content and I can email it to my list, because we're professionals, we're building a list, that's what we do at the end of the day. I'm going to take that same content, maybe put a little twist on it again, and then I'm going to email that content to my list, get them back to that blog post, and that's how you get a lot of interaction, and that's how you feed multiple birds with one seed. And I just want to touch on one more thing. I know we don't have a lot of time, but set an intention. Get very crystal clear on the reason why you're creating the content in the first place, because if you're not clear, there's going to be a disconnect between your prospect and who is reading that when you're doing your keyword research. So get very clear, who am I helping, how am I going to help them, and then just deliver the content. And the thing is, if you run dry on ideas, go to the keyword planner, get new ideas on what to blog on, and you will be golden and all set from there. But here's the key. You want to blog about what people are searching for. You don't want to create your own crazy variation, like how to do naked yoga and become rich blogging in your teens because, my mentor has done it or something crazy like that. Because there's not as many crazy people as you, but maybe there is, and you just need to attract them. But here's your chances, because I look at it, how can I increase my odds of getting ranked? Actually take the time to do some keyword research, have fun with it. Sometimes I take several hours in the day and I just research what are people searching for and how can I deliver the most highly valuable content that is going to serve them to their greatest good. And in the end of the day, that's what this business is all about, creating unique content, helping other people. The more people that serves, the greater reward you're going to get served in return. And I don't want to take it any further here. I just appreciate you watching this, and I appreciate you guys inviting me out here to share some tidbits on how to make some money blogging. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Justin, for coming on to share those tips. Fantastic strategies. And guys, again, make sure you're writing these down. Make sure you're taking notes. I want you to notice something. Everybody who's shared so far has a couple of things in common. Can you tell that they love what they're doing? That they are energetic and excited? Because they are. They're focused on serving their readers, and they're serious about what they're doing. They're building a business with it. It's not just something that when the mood strikes, they'll go write a blog post once a week or once a month. They're being a couple of things to make sure you wrote down from what Justin shared just now. You can pray to the Google gods to get lucky, or you can use the Jedi approach, which is spend 20% of your time marketing it. Because think about it this way. You put your time and energy into solving a problem for people. That content deserves to be out there helping people. And if you don't on that traffic, like he said, and for video, if you didn't get that pattern he shared, number one, set your intention. Know what you're going to talk about, what problem you're solving. And then the 3 steps are pattern interrupt, solve the problem, and give a call to action. So make sure you've got all of those in your notes. Again, listen to what the common themes are and what they're sharing. Professionals build a list. These are tips from people who have made money blogging. They know how to make this work. All right, next we've got Lawrence Tam. Lawrence, are you here?
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Sweet. All right, hey guys, how you guys doing? My name is Lawrence Tam, if you don't know who I am, and I'm one of the top affiliates with Empower Network, and I have physically started doing affiliate marketing, that type since 2008, and a lot of it came from blogging. I started with a free platform. A free platform is not actually one of the main things you should focus on being free. I did some trainings on why free is actually detrimental to your business, because you think it's free, but it's actually pulling away from you. So I'm going to give you a couple business tips on blogging, and one of them is don't focus on trying to get something free when your blog is one of the most important parts of your business. And so what that means is, let's say your job is about 30 miles away, and you have to have a dependable car. And your car is a sweet ride. Let's say you got a Lexus GS 450, sweet ride, right? Probably about $50,000, maybe $60,000, and it's sick, right? All leather, brand new, smells great. It has the wireless keys and everything in there. Problem is, your tires are bald. Like literally, you're driving on bald wheels, bald tires. How safe is that car, and would you drive that every day? If there was a hole in it, you're riding on rims. No, it's not functional. So what happens is a lot of people go into thinking that they can build a blog because, hey, that blog is free, or hey, that blog I can host on something for $7 a month. I'm going to tell you right now, if you build a foundational business on something that is free, that is for profit, you're going to run into some issues. Issue number one is, if you have your integral business, say it's consulting, say it's network marketing, say it's your own information products, and you build it on a free product line, like there's a couple of them out there, right? There's a lot of them actually out there. That content is on a network that makes money when people are seeing ads on your blog that is free. That's how they make their money, right? They make money on Google AdSense on your free blog. So the exchange is, hey, we'll host your blog, right? And we'll let you blog on this as long as you allow us to monetize your traffic. Now, Kalatu and with Empower, it's a little different. We are the largest for-profit blog network on planet Earth, Mars, Pluto, and Venus. We are here to actually make business owners profitable. Now, how does that mean? We're here to show you how to draw people into sales funnels. We show you that there's an easier way to get people to click on banners, right? There's an easy way to get opt-ins from your blog posts. We are an Empower Network as a body of community of for-profit bloggers. We are on a platform that, yes, it is paid, but number one, isn't like one of these, web hosts that you pay like $7 to $10 a month that you send like 100 visitors to in an hour and it crashes, right? So you can go and raise your hand. No one can see you. You can have that shameful hand come up and tell me, do you have some type of like host animal, or you have some type of dream server or something, and you sent like 100 clicks to it? Like 100 visitors found your blog and the server melted down, right? It just went meh. See, Empower Network is built for traffic, knowing and understanding. Since you're actually, having a customer base that pays for good servers, they want you to continue being a customer. A free service could care less. A cheap service could care less. Why? Because they're like, hey, you're only paying us $7 a month for hosting. We could care less if this thing shuts down or not, because guess what? We're $7 a month, and you're a lowball, nonprofit, non-business type owner, right? So what I would suggest is this: make sure you get your stuff hosted on a for-profit business if it is for-profit. Now, if it is nonprofit, you can still use Kalatu and the Empower Network to be able to host your ideas, because the thing is, when you start selling products, and when you start becoming an affiliate, these free platforms actually have a say on what you promote. And you won't know this until much later. You won't know this until you have your 100 blog posts. And true story, I had a team member who I had unknowingly back in 2008 had recommended using a free blog platform to keep her costs lower. And what happened was she got a not like a cease and desist, but like an admin letter from the blog service that says, you can't promote network marketing companies on this free blog. No joke. And so she had to take it all down. She was like, that's crazy. But see, back then in 2008, there wasn't Kalatu, there wasn't an Empower Network, there wasn't a for-profit business that allows you to focus on making money on this blog. So that's tip number one. Understand you can have the best pictures or great ad copy or a great story on your blog, but if it's hosted and served on a really weak platform, non-authority domain website that isn't being interlinked and isn't being promoted the right way, it's useless. It's a useless car with bald wheels, right? Now, tip number two, go ahead and if you have a piece of paper or something or a notebook, I would definitely, for the engineers out there, I would definitely pull out the, I don't know if you can see the grid lines on my engineering paper. So if you have some engineering paper, go and pull this out, all right? So I'm going to give you a really cool tip, and this tip, if you follow it, will kind of blow your mind a little bit, especially you bloggers out there, okay? So let me get a drink of water. Give me 3 seconds. Okay, so I had a lot of things, but I know there's a lot of awesome bloggers, so I don't want to hog up too much time. So here's the idea, and this is something I stumbled upon while blogging intensively the last couple years, but I fell on this about a year ago, and I taught this to my high-end 15K and Masters team, and I want to show you this one tip that really kind of took it up a notch for me. When you write a blog, okay, how many of you are linking outside of your blog? And when I say link, I'm not talking an affiliate link to your network marketing company. I'm not talking a link to your capture page. I'm not talking a link to Empower Network. I'm talking a legit external link. Do you do this in every blog? And do you do this to benefit the reader who's reading your blog post? From looking at my team's blog posts and looking at just average bloggers, the average, I would say 95 to 97% do not externally link out of their blog. So what that means is, let's say you have a blog post and you're talking about market research and you're talking about the 12 best universities in the United States for the price. And you got some information that from like College News or Kiplinger or somebody, some notable website was talking about price per value for universities, and there's data. Now, if you read this article and then on your blog post you started talking about colleges and you started talking about entrance exams, but you cited no external references, how does someone know that it's real? How does someone know that they can trust your statistical data? Now, some people might say yes, but the average person who comes to your website will question if you have hard data or things that you have to research. If you don't have a physical link that links to the actual source, be it Wikipedia, be it a news site, be it Huffington Post, be it another blogger, if you don't do a hard link, how does the person who's reading your blog post trust your data? Now, it's actually more importantly for Google. Google wants to make sure you're not like a black hole. Now, what is a black hole? A black hole sucks everything in. It's like a drain. It only pulls things in. If Google sees your website as only sucking things in, it's like that's a self-serving blog. Maybe that's not a good blog to send Google customers. When I say Google customers, I'm meaning someone types in a keyword and they find your blog post because Google deems your blog post relevant. But how does Google establish you being relevant? Now, there's a lot of different metrics, but one of them is, are you actually linking to other sites that are good and helpful? If you don't do that, Google's going to see you as a black hole, and eventually it's going to be much harder for you to start ranking because you're being shiced. You're holding back. You're being cheap with your link love. You're being cheap with your authority on your blog post because you're scared to share and spread ideas on your blog. So linking out is the number one step that a lot of people miss. And if you do any on-page SEO, they all recommend you to link out to more sites, especially if it's a keyword related phrase of the keyword you're targeting. I'm going to repeat that. Especially if it's a keyword related phrase of the keyword you're specifically targeting. So, an example. Your keyword is high heel red shoes under $30. That's your long phrase keyword. But then you need to be linking out to other sites that talk about red high heel shoes or red bottom shoes with high heels. Something that you can link with a phrase that's similar or just a longer phrase or variation of your keyword. Okay, so I'm going to slow down. Number one, make sure you have the link. Make sure it's relevant. Now, here is your free 15K formula master's type tip. Tip that will push probably 5% of you who are watching right now. Probably 5% that are taking notes. The 5% of you who will get this will go, Lawrence, I owe you a beer because that's so dang sick. Here's what you do. You link to someone of authority that can build authority back to you, but what you do is you go and reach out to them. Let that sink. When you link to someone else, say it's Huffington Post, another authority blogger, maybe you're in the food niche and you link out to a foodie on another blog network or another Empower or another Call Out To blog, something that's generally larger than yourself, and you link to them, number one, Google's like, cool, it's related, you linked out, I like that, you're not a black hole. But the key is you need to build a list. Let's say you have 10 external links. Those 10 links, you need to go and contact every single author and the actual website if they don't own the website. I'll give an example. So there's 10 sites. You should contact at least 10 different authors. Now, if that author is like a guest blogger on like Huffington Post, or maybe they're on like search engine land, maybe they're guest posting, you should contact the actual domain also. And here's a simple script. Here's a simple thing you do. You find their Twitter, you find their email and or you find their Facebook page, and you send them a simple note that goes, thank you for writing your XYZ post. I loved it. I resourced it on my blog post here. Thank you for sharing that information. My blog readers love it. If there's anything I can do, let me know. Blah, 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 signature. Now, why would you do that? And why would that help you? If you contact 10 people, and I've proven this in my training, if you contact 10 people, there's going to be a percentage of people who will go, oh, thank you. There'll be a percentage of people that won't do anything. But there will be a percentage of people that will go on Twitter, will go on Google+, will go on their news list and go, hey, I was just mentioned, or hey, thanks for writing about our blog post, or hey, thanks for connecting and referencing our content. You can find it here. I've had much larger websites send me a tweet, send me a backlink, send me a Google+, send me traffic because I'm referencing their content. And even if it's old content, I'm referencing it, they want to tell their list that it's relevant, right? A third party, me, is coming to their content and telling my readers that you're relevant. They will have a percentage that will tweet back, Google Plus back, Facebook like back, comment to you back, and now you're on their radar. Why is that important? Are you here to blog one time and that's it? Are you here to blog once and you're done? No. And when you're a blogger, it's kind of like, Rashkin, he has a thing that says, if you eat, you work out that day, right? It's a do this, do this. If you blog, you must promote. And Justin Vringer talked about this. If you blog, you need to connect with other bloggers. It's not all about these cheap, spammy backlinks anymore. It's about real connections, backlinking, but having a larger site come back to you and scratch your back. A percentage will, depending on the quality and how you reference them. And if you do this properly, and just do it every time, just reference, be good about it, connect. See, Google likes two things. They like interlinking, which is inside your blog posts pointing to each other. And they also like external links that are being met, like it's the web. Why do we call it the web? Because, the links are like this. So if you have links that go out, that cross, that go in and cross, that's the sturdy content of blog that you want to build, and that's really, really white hat. White hat, I don't know if I can do a hat, which means it's good for SEO. It's exactly what you should be doing. Build a rapport with other people in the niche. Even if they're huge, you will be shocked who will send you a tweet, send you some love, and actually write you an email that says, thank you, how can I help you? Because you gave them a backlink. They didn't have to ask you, and you gave them a backlink. Think about it. And when you're on the Kalatu domain and they see a backlink coming from a high authority domain, they're like, that guy or that gal just sent me a big fat backlink and referenced our website. How can I help them? Scratch your back, scratch theirs, giving without want. That mindset change will help you as a blogger for the future of your career path on planet Earth. So my name is Lawrence Tam. See you in Vegas.
That was an awesome tip. Actually, all of those were awesome. If you haven't tried that, what Lawrence just shared with you works amazingly well. I can't even tell you how many times I've gotten somebody who had no clue who I was to tweet out a link to my blog post because I featured them, and then I contacted them and said exactly the script Lawrence just gave you. Hey, thanks for this post you wrote. I referenced it. My readers loved it. Use that. Make sure you're using that. And I sure hope that more than 5% of you are taking notes. I gave you guys the notes, the PDF to download. I told you at the beginning you were going to want to take notes. Tell me in chat if you are, because I just want to see that you guys are taking notes on this. This is fantastic training. And so a couple of things that I want to make sure you wrote down for what Lawrence shared there. The first thing is make it work.
Hey guys, did we lose Michelle?
It appears to be that way. I think she's frozen.
That you've.
Oh,
Am I frozen?
Oh, you're back now.
I'm back. Okay, thank you. You know, the speakers that you're hearing tonight, these are the guys that are going to be on stage in Vegas sharing their best strategies with you. You've had only a few minutes from each of them tonight. I'm over here holding up signs that tell them you've got, 1 minute. I'm letting them know when time is up. They're limited here, but when you come to the event in Vegas, they're going to have much more time on stage to go deeper into these strategies with you, to share even more tips and tools, things that are working right now. You guys are on the front line. They're in the trenches every day, getting out there and blogging. Aaron Rashkin's up next. He just posted in chat. He only syndicates on the days he blogs. These people are making it work. Learn from them. Model their success. Make sure you click the button, whichever side of me it's on. Get your ticket right now. Don't miss it. You're not going to see this price again. I can promise you, I hear the behind-the-scenes talk. This $107 ticket is only good until the countdown timer on the page disappears. 57% discount. You're not going to have this opportunity. Get yourself an early Christmas present and get to the event. Let's go to Aaron Rashkin next with his $1 million blogging tip.
Yeah, what's going on, Michelle?
Hey, thanks so much for coming on tonight.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. You know, it's pretty funny. I mean, I wrote that in the chat here. I only syndicate on the days that I blog. But what Lawrence was talking about was I say that I only work out on the days that I eat. But this is about blogging, and it's about getting the message out. And there have been so much great content so far. So I'm not going to repeat a lot of what all the other speakers have already shared because they've already kind of hit the nail on the head. But I want to share a couple of quick stories. When I first got on the internet about 6 years ago, I actually reached out to several successful online marketers. And the first thing I said to them was, what do I need to do? Like, give me the basics of what I need to do to be successful on the internet. And the three things that I was told by several people at this event that I went to in Vegas, actually, it was in Vegas a little over 6 years ago now. I was told that I needed a lead capture page, an autoresponder, and a blog. Now, I understood what the lead capture page was for because we want to capture the email address of people who are looking for whatever it is that we offer. And then, of course, I knew I needed an autoresponder so I can follow up with them, right, with follow-up emails and broadcast messages and just to build that relationship with the subscribers on my list. And then the blog. I thought to myself, what is a blog, right? And so I did a little bit of research and found out that a blog is really just a web log. Kind of like a diary or a journal. And see, I had written in my journal for years. I used to write my workouts in my journal. I would write down, things that I was learning at events, and I would go and sit and take notes, and I would sit in with mentors and model people. And so all of these, notes that I wrote, I realized that I could put those into, my weblog or my blog and create content for people. And so I started my very first blog when I was actually on vacation, and I was watching these kids build a sandcastle right by the water's edge. And I showed this blog post. It's on a very old blog of mine. It's now over 6 years old, but I showed this blog post to a bunch of affiliates several weeks ago. We were here in Colorado doing a little Sunday fun day, and we were sitting around, and I had about 10 or 12 people looking over my shoulder, looking at some of my very first blog posts. And what I did was I wrote this story about these kids that were building a sandcastle on the water's edge, and I knew as the tide got closer to the beach, right, the water was crashing, right, the waves were crashing, and eventually the sandcastle was going to get toppled over by the waves. And that's exactly what happened. It took about 20 or 25 minutes of watching the waves roll in, and eventually this beautiful sandcastle that these kids built got completely knocked out. So when I saw that, I realized that that's just like what people deal with at a job. If they have a job, right, it's a matter of time, in most cases, before their company downsizes or right-sizes or just kind of like optimizes them out of the pay plan. And this is why people get laid off and, get let go or they get fired or whatnot because companies can't afford to keep them. And so I wrote a blog post about these kids at the building a sandcastle at the water's edge. and I posted on this blog, right, this blog that I was using, and then I took my blog URL, and I went out into every social media network and every network marketing, home-based business, affiliate marketing forum that I could find. And there are literally thousands of them out there. Just like we talk about Facebook and Google Plus and Quora and LinkedIn and Pinterest and Instagram and all these different social media platforms. Well, we now have social media platforms. Back 6 years ago, there were not so many of them. There were some, but there were not as many as there are now. So we were using forums. We would go into Warrior Forum or into Safe Swap forums or different types of network marketing hubs where there were hundreds, thousands, even hundreds of thousands of people. And what I did was I made this post, and I would use the title of my blog post, and I would target the people who I knew were in those positions where they were possibly nervous about losing their job, or maybe they were worried about paying off their holiday bills or getting out of debt, or they wanted to travel more or take vacations, or they wanted to just take some financial pressure off themselves. And so I would literally write stories, right? You always hear facts tell, stories sell. So I would just write stories. I didn't have to know a lot about network marketing or home-based business or affiliate marketing or internet marketing. I didn't even have to know a lot about sandcastles. All I did was tell stories. And I told that story, and I told another story on another blog post, and I told another story. And basically what I'm telling you is that you don't have to fit your life into your business, right? You can fit your business into your life. In other words, pay attention when you go out. Focus on conversations that you see happening around you. Listen in, tune into what people are talking about and what their conversations are with each other, and just use that as your content at first. Now, of course, you want to target a specific niche, so figure out exactly who you want to have this conversation with. Now, at the same time, you want to make sure that there's enough people that are interested in the topics that you're going to be blogging about, because if you have a really cool blog topic, but there's not a lot of people out there that are, in that sweet spot looking for that kind of information, then you may want to look a little bit deeper and see if you can find a niche that a lot of people are searching out. Now, I want to share a quick story, Michelle. I was in Arizona for the holiday. I was down in Scottsdale and Phoenix with some of my close friends and family, and I met a young guy who was when he was 17 years old and living in his parents' house. He was just graduating from high school. He realized that there were millions of people that were looking to what's called jailbreak their iPhones. And they were looking for ways to get apps, right? Apps for their phones that were not yet made available in the iTunes App Store. And so he did a little bit of research and found some programmers who were willing to give him some information about apps that they knew were available for jailbreaking. And he started a blog, literally 17 years old. He did in 2 years over $500,000 in commissions, blogging to that niche, and he hadn't even graduated high school yet. So I met him over the weekend, and I had this amazing conversation with him about niche blogging. And some of the things that he shared with me are very simple. I'll just give you an idea of some of the things he told me over the weekend. Number one, you want to make sure that your conversation, when you have this conversation with your market, right? So figure you're going to start blogging. Make sure that you segment all of your blog topics for that niche. So in other words, I'll just use home business as an example. What do you know about home-based business? And so you'll actually write down a list of things across the top of your page. And then so if one of those things is, let's just say, blogging, what do you know about blogging? Write down everything you know about blogging. And this is called warboarding or storyboarding or mind mapping your strategy, right? You have to have a business strategy. So write down everything you know about blogging. Write down everything you know about, say, autoresponders. Write down everything you know about lead capture pages. Write down everything you know about the message to market match. Write down everything you know about, the next part of your conversation. In other words, break down everything that you know about a specific topic, whether it's home business, whether it's jailbreaking, whether it's exercise and nutrition, whether it's food and diet, whether it's weight loss, whether it's cosmetics. I know some of you have businesses that are outside of the Empower Network scope, but you can still blog about any topic, but you need to break down your blog topic and get very specific so that you always have fresh content. And the deeper you drill down into that specific niche, into those topics, you have more and more content to share with your readers, which will keep them coming back, which will keep them engaged in the conversation, and will build up enough, where they feel like they know, like, and trust you, so that whatever it is that you're selling on your blog, these people feel like they do have a relationship. Maybe you never met them, maybe you've never spoken to them or emailed them specifically, but you don't have to have a relationship where they're your best friend for them to feel comfortable buying from you. So that was one thing he shared with me, was really, make sure you know a lot about your blog topic. And number two, really decorate your blog. Customize it so that it's got your face in it. It's got your video. If you have a video, put some video in the sidebar so that it's always there on all the blog posts. Make sure that you keep your content fresh so that you have updated video and photos of you with people at live events. In other words, appear very active, appear very connected to the people that you work with, and that way people realize that you're somebody that is just like them. They're no different than you. You're no different than them, and this is why they'll buy from you. And then one more tip, Michelle. I know I got to turn it over to you. One of the most amazing things that I did, one of the most successful strategies that I used on one of my very first blogs when I first got started was, if you remember Google AdSense from going back about 8 or 10 years ago, where Google allowed an advertiser with a blog or a website to actually post some images, or should I say ads, of other people's businesses. So what I did was I got a web designer to do this. Now you can go to Fiverr or Elance or any one of these outsourcing websites, Fiverr with 2 R's, Fiverr.com. And you can look for a graphic artist. And what I did was I made a little banner for my sidebar on my blog that looked exactly like the AdSense ads that you would see going 8, 10 years ago. And what it was supposed to look like was that I was letting other people advertise on my blog. And so I wrote these little mini ads for my own business, and I had 3 of them in a row, just like this little column, or this little column of ads, and each ad was different, and the image itself I had link over to my lead capture page, so that it appeared that I was advertising somebody else's business or letting 3 different people advertise on my blog, and that little image got more hits off of my blog and generated more leads to my lead capture page, right through my lead capture page into my marketing funnel, and allowed me to market to more people with my follow-ups and my broadcasts than any other banner I've ever created. And that's how I've made multiple 7 figures, is getting people to my lead capture pages to opt in, put in their email address, go through my marketing funnel, and I develop that relationship over and over and over by mailing every day, sometimes 2, 3 times a day, with links to different resources, telling stories to different blog posts that I did, and you just further the conversation with them, and you get them to know, like, and trust you. And when the timing in their life is right, and you're the leader that they're looking for, this is why people will buy from you. So that's all I have for you, Michelle. I know we have to turn it back over to wrap up here because we still have some more important announcements to make. But thanks for letting me share tonight, and I can't wait to see everybody in Vegas here in January.
Awesome. Thank you so much for those tips, Aaron. There were a couple of, again, common themes. Storytelling. I noticed chat, when you were sharing that story, got quiet because they were listening. They were focused on the story you were sharing. That's what we can use in our blogs, is telling those stories. Mind mapping is fantastic. Follow Aaron's advice on that. You will never run out of things to blog about. Customizing your blog, getting yourself on there, branding it, that again goes back to what Tracy talked about too. Building that authority is what blogging does for you. And the story that you shared, Aaron, about a teenage kid making money with a blog, how awesome is that? I recently got my driver's license, and it was terrifying for me. And I'm 34, for those of you who might be wondering, but I just recently got my driver's license, and what motivated me was I kept thinking to myself, if 16-year-olds can do this, then I can do this. I can learn to drive. And I would encourage you to look at blogging the same way. You know, if teenagers can do this and make money, then we can all do this and make money. It doesn't take rocket science. You know, I know Lawrence Tam is an engineer, so, you know, he's special, but you look at everybody that's on this webcast tonight sharing their tips with you. Justin's a Jedi. Tracy just freaking rocks. Everybody that's on here, they are doing amazing things, but you know what they have in common? They all started not knowing how to blog. None of us knew what to do when we got started. We jumped in and committed to do it. If you're brand new, don't be discouraged thinking that you're hearing those tips and you're not sure what to do with them. Just start with where you're at. Share your journey as you learn. Dave says all the time, teach as you're learning things. So when you get started with blogging, you learn a new tip, share that tip immediately on your blog. You don't have to be an expert to make this work. Making the decision that you're going to go pro with this, so to speak, that you're going to get serious, you're going to commit to it, and that you're going to get out there for yourself and for the audience that's waiting for you. Again, make sure that you've got your ticket to Vegas. If you're serious about this, you need to be there with us to learn more about blog, to take this to the next level for your business. I want to very quickly to change what's on your screen. You may have noticed that early in the webcast, we put up a little gift. And I'm going to put this back on for just a minute here for you, just to make sure you've got it. But I want you to notice this showed up for about 15 minutes before the webcast started. The great content that we're sharing should be enough to get you here on time. But start considering as well that you never know when we might be bringing you some really cool gifts and giveaways for getting here early. All right, it's about to disappear. If you haven't clicked it yet, make sure you click it now. And it is gone. Make sure you show up early for the webcast because you will see more little things like that popping up as we continue these trainings for you. I would love to know what you think about this content so far. Tell us in chat right below the video. Let me know what you think. The leaders have been so great to come on and share all this with you. And I'm going to, just for a couple minutes, share something about someone who is coming to the event as a guest. And then I'm going to turn it back over to Dave. He's going to wrap this up, share a few more tips with you, and talk about the event a little bit. You won't want to miss that. But let me quickly flip my screen here to screen sharing because we've got a fantastic guest. Can you guys let me know if you can see my screen? Hopefully you can see my screen right now. We've got a guest coming to the event in Vegas that you will not want to miss. In addition to our leaders who are just killing it right now, who can teach you such great strategies and really give you examples to model of what to do and empower, we have Neil Patel coming to the event who's going to be teaching. He's going to give a keynote on Saturday. On All-In Day on Sunday, he's going to be teaching a workshop all about content marketing and how to really attract traffic, get leads, and turn it into sales. So who is Neil Patel and what can he teach you? Now there's a few things on the screen now. He's one of the top influencers on the web according to Wall Street Journal. President Obama named him one of the top 100 entrepreneurs under 30. But this is somebody who I'm so excited. When they told me he was coming, I was like bouncing in my seat because I can't wait to learn from him. I've been following him for several years online. And what I have for you tonight is I have shamelessly swiped some content from just one blog post on his site that I'm going to share with you. You're going to want to take notes on this because I want you to see and get an idea of the types of information that he will be sharing at the event and how great he is at teaching these things. So don't blame him for the presentation. Credit him for the content I'm about to share. This is how to generate thousands of clickable ideas for your content. The two biggest challenges for content marketers, which if you're a blogger, you're a content marketer. You're using content to market your business opportunity or whatever it is that you're promoting and selling. The two biggest challenges, according to a survey, are producing enough content and producing engaging content that gets read. So how does Neil solve a problem? I'm going to run you very quickly through some strategies that he gives for this. First, a quote, Mary Kay Ash, a mediocre idea that generates enthusiasm will go further than a great idea that inspires no one. When we're talking about blogging, you've seen that in your leaders on this live cast tonight. They are excited. They're enthusiastic about this. Why? Because they know it works. They know if they can get you to model what they're doing, that you can see the same kind of results. And I know, income disclaimer, results not typical. Yes, these guys are killing it with blogging. You're not typical either. If you go for it, you can make amazing things happen with enthusiasm. So here we go. Step 1. Create a place to capture all your ideas. Hopefully you have right now pages of notes full of ideas. That is worth a lot. You've got something that you can go implement and build on, but you need this when it comes to your blog ideas as well. Create a place to capture all of your blogging ideas. Step 2, you need to set up an idea generating system, and I'm going to give you Neil's suggestions, just a few of them. This isn't even half of the content he shared in one blog post. But I've grabbed a few of them that you can use to set up an idea generating system so you never run out of ideas. The first one is keep up with trends. So go to Google Alerts and set them up for your topics. What do you want to blog about? You know, Lawrence Tam talked about earlier linking out to authority sites. Some of the others that have been on talked about linking out to others, featuring them. You don't have to be the expert on what you're blogging about. Share your thoughts and then link to the expert. Check blogs, and you can subscribe to them with something called Feedly, and it'll let you see what the blogs in your industry are sharing about so that you can join that conversation. So check your email alerts, check Feedly daily. Keep an eye on thought leaders and competitors. Watch their blogs. Read the new best-selling books. Stay current on the news. Again, this goes back to you don't have to be the expert. Watch the experts. Share the tips you learn from them. One thing that I love, you know, Justin was talking about turning on his camera and sharing things he's learning and explaining, demonstrating for people how to do them. When I read a new book, I'll turn my camera on, hold the book up, and offer a book review for people. I don't have to be an expert on the topic. I just have to be smart enough to open the book, read it, identify a couple of tips I can share. It's easy to do. You don't have to be an expert to do this and to make it work. So keep an eye on thought leaders and competitors. Watch what they're doing. Tap into the power of Google. Tracy talked about this. Lawrence Tam talked about this. You can go to Google, start to type in a phrase. It'll give you suggestions of what people are searching for. Right there, some ideas for your next blog post. Use the keyword tool. Create a brainstorming list. Just sit down and write out all the questions you can think of about a particular topic, and then answer them one at a time in a blog post. Create a mind map. Erin talks about this, that if you create a mind map and start with one topic, branch off into all the related topics, it's a fantastic way to come up with great ideas. And tune in and listen. Listen to the conversations around you when you go to the coffee shop, when you go to the grocery store. Think about how it ties into your niche and what you share on your blog. Listen to your friends. Listen to your family. Listen to your customers. Watch where they get stuck. Watch where they run into challenges. Solve those problems in blog posts for your readers. You know, when you see somebody new come on board, or when you're talking to someone and you're having that prospect conversation, what are their objections? What are their questions? Blog about it. If you don't know the answer, go to your upline, go to your leaders and say, hey, how do you address this concern? Get them to guest post on your blog or get them on a Google Hangout. Have them answer it. Put that video on your blog. Listen to those conversations. You know, there's so many more ways you can do this. Watch social media conversations. Watch forums, online Q&A sites. There's a strategy called newsjacking that hopefully he will talk about at the event. Fantastic way to get traffic to your site. This is something Chris Record has also talked about, is newsjacking. And I don't want to take too much time to go into these. The 4 basic steps are, as you read, interact with, and talk to people. Pay attention. Let the ideas you're collecting and conversations you're having inspire your own opinions. So when you read something from a thought leader, let's say you go to Tracy's blog and you read something on her blog that you love. Well, what's your own opinion on that? Spin off from it and share. Here's what I liked about what she shared, or I tried this, it worked for me. Here's a link to her strategy. Then let Tracy know. Maybe she'll tweet it out for you. Use the strategies that your leaders gave you tonight. Don't be afraid to stand out from the crowd or shake things up. It's a great way to get your blog noticed is be different, share your opinion, shake things up, and look for gaps in the conversation. This is another strategy that Neil teaches, is when you hear a conversation, think about what wasn't addressed, what questions weren't answered, or what's the next step for somebody. Once they've learned something, everything you learn, you run into another problem that needs solved next. So look for those gaps, those next steps that you can help people solve. This is some of the content that you will find that Neil shares, things like this that are just solid, actionable strategies that will work for us as bloggers to build our blog. So the question I've got for you is this. What if you had the exact secrets that successful bloggers are using today, not 6 months ago or 2 years ago? You guys know what internet time is like. You don't need to know what worked 2 years ago because it may not work today. But what if you knew what they were using today to attract traffic, generate leads, and get sales online? What is that worth for your business? And again, your blog is your business. You're serious about this. You're going to make it work. What if you had the exact secrets that they know that are working right now? Get to Vegas with us. Get to Revolution. The event is in January. It's a great time of year to go to Vegas. Anytime's a great time, right? But it's especially awesome because this is not your everyday event. It is extremely rare to get Neil Patel to do this kind of private training, but John and Mars and the team have pulled some strings to get him in, to get him on to do this training for us. This is worth so much more than the $107 and the couple of days out of your schedule it takes to get there. Get your ticket. You see the button on the page. Now's the time to click it. It looks something like that. This is your opportunity to learn from our leaders, from Neil Patel, from Dave Wood, what's working right now that you can apply to your business. And I'm going to flip back to the other screen here. Let me stop screen sharing. There we go. All right. And again, it's just a decision. Decide that you want to commit and make this successful for yourself. I'm going to turn it back over to Dave and let him share some more tips to wrap this up. Dave, are you here? I see.
Yeah. I was just getting distracted there. I just used the 21-day blogging challenge to write a post and was goofing off, messaging people in the private beta group. Most of what I do is actually goofing off. One of the things I learned actually a long time ago is if you're not having fun doing what you do, you won't keep doing it. And that's just something a lot of people, and I'd like actually to repeat that again, it's that if you don't have fun doing what you're doing, you're not going to keep doing it, no matter what it is. If you're not, having fun in your marriage, you're not going to keep doing it. If you're not having fun in your work, you're not going to keep doing it. If you're not having fun in your business, you're not going to keep doing it. And if you don't keep doing it, you're never going to build a big organization, especially in this kind of business. And that's I would say a real big key to the success that I've had is that I've kept myself engaged doing things that I find hilarious. And truthfully, I don't even care if anybody else thinks they're funny. I think they're funny. And so I'll do things just to kind of see what people will say and see how people will respond because I enjoy it. I enjoy recruiting. I enjoy doing hangouts like this. I enjoy the kind of a life that this kind of business can build. One of the reasons why I built this kind of business it's not because I want to be the richest guy in the world. I've never had a desire to do that. In fact, after I was making $30,000 a month, my brain kind of just shut off towards making new money, making a lot more money because I just didn't really have the desire to make any more because I could kind of do anything that I wanted to do. But one of the things that I've learned over the years is I've learned that people who stay in the game for a long period of time, they stay consistent for a long period of time, tend to eventually start producing results that seem magical to other people who haven't been around as long. If you look at Aaron Rashkin, you listen to him talk, and he talks like a personal development book. When he's talking, he's quoting somebody interesting. If you listen to Justin Berengia, he sounds like a Buddhist sage or something when he's talking. He really does. When he's talking, it's like he slips in like a little tidbit about sitting in like Indian style, meditation poses, to everything that he does. He talked about chi power, in his speech at the last event, which I found personally a lot more entertaining than marketing. But they found a way to bring what they love into this kind of business and really turn their passion into profits, which is the real thing that I love about doing what we do. It's the real thing that I love about blogging. I can sit here, and here I am at, Hocko Beach, looking out over one of the most famous beaches in Central America, at the Marriott down here, and at the same time, I'm communicating with a group of people that literally is in countries all around the world. And if you guys think about just the power and what we're doing right here, I mean, I used to struggle up in Fairbanks, Alaska. I remember doing meetings on a Thursday night when I was getting my business started in Agile Enterprises and struggling to get 5 people there on a Thursday night at 7:30. You know what I mean? I'd work all week talking to people, handing them DVDs, calling people, and then inviting them to my weekly meeting. And you know, they started off with 2 people, then grew to 5, then grew to 10, then grew to 20, and kept kind of growing until it got to around 50 or 100 people. But the reality is I remember how much work it took to get 5 people in a room sitting there. And here we are talking. I don't even know what day of the week it is, honestly. I thought it was Wednesday. It's Tuesday. I just looked at my computer. We're talking on a Tuesday night at 9:43 Central Time. So it was like 10:43 Eastern Time. And we've got like 12 or 1,300 or 1,500 people on this hangout in locations and countries literally all over the place. Maybe there's another person here at the Las Vegas Resort who's watching in their hotel room. Maybe there's somebody in Russia. Maybe there's somebody in Germany. Maybe there's somebody in South Africa. Who knows how many people there are in the United States? Maybe Silvio is translating this in other languages, or maybe we're doing it in 5 languages at the same time. This is the kind of lifestyle, and this is the kind of power that blogging enables you to create when you do it right. You know, I remember I was sitting in a room with one of the more well-known leaders in the network marketing industry. I'm not going to share his name, but his first name was Dave too. I'll share that. A lot of you know who he is. Some of you don't know who he is. But anyways, I was sitting there in this living room. There's about 15 of us sitting around, and he was sharing stories about how he got started in his business. And then he said something that just made me fantasize. And what he said was, imagine if you were able to grow a business from the comfort of your own home, that like the English Empire, the sun never set down on your income. That as you were going to sleep, people on the other side of the world were just waking up, going to work, and all of it made you money. And like my imagination was stretched from that, you know, having this ability to be in one place where you're earning income in another place without having to travel there, without having to go there, without having to be there. That's what this business, that's why it's built, that's what it enables you to do when you do it right, when you've got great products, when you've got a great company, when you've got a great ability to make money, and you've got a great team of people, and then you decide to be consistent. It's what it gives you the ability to do. And what I want to encourage you guys to do who are on here is to realize that the coolest thing about where we are right now as a team, as a company, as a culture, is what we've discovered over the last couple of years. It's not the great accomplishments that we've had. It's not the $100-something million in sales that we've done. It's not the hundreds of thousands of people that we've brought in or the events that we've done with thousands of people. What the best part about our experiences we've had together is the things that we've learned, really the insight that it's given us into what's going to create a bigger future, a better future, a more powerful and prosperous future together as we step into it. The spot where we're at right now as a company, as a team, as affiliates is really a special place to be. I'm excited now, and I've just started ramping up selling again. Today I've made 9 sales of the blog, and I think I recruited all 9 as affiliates too. And the reason why I'm excited and the reason why I'm building and recruiting like this is because I'm really excited about what this blogging platform will do for you, and I'm really excited about really what it's going to bring to the marketplace, which is creating the kind of life that I was able to create, but kind of putting it in a box to where you can just literally take it. You can just take it, you can run with it, and you can just start building your business and start producing results and start pouring your creative energy into your business the way that I do, but without having to handle all the sales framework and the technical framework and all that stuff. So I really want you guys to get excited about that, because the culmination of that is all leading up to this event coming up in Las Vegas. Now, the thing is about this event in Las Vegas is I'm excited about Neil Patel coming there, because I followed Neil Patel's work for years. When I originally hired Jonathan Cronstead, at Empower Network, he told me he knew him, and I was excited about that. Of course, John knows everybody, but Neil's one of his good friends. Neil is just one of the best bloggers that really exists on the internet. Now, he doesn't do quite what we do, which is build organizations of people through blogging. He's in a little bit of a different space and a different niche, but his knowledge and wisdom will really help us all out a ton. In fact, when we were building this platform, Lawrence Tam asked the question. He says, why don't we get the consultations with some other people that are really famous bloggers like Neil Patel? And we're like, we're on it, brother. We got it. And so we're actually bringing him to the event. Right now you have discounted tickets, and that offer is going to go away. We wanted to do that as a holiday special for you guys so you could realize that you're in the right place at the right time. You can congregate with us at a place that's really fun to be. We can all go have fun in Las Vegas, and we can throw parties and really enjoy just being there with a group of people that is going to create a content revolution in the world. That's really what Empower Network was about when it started. That's really what it's about now. Empower Network, when it started, was about replicating really the way that I was building my business at the time. This is the way that I was building my business. That's the way this company started, because I had discovered this kind of unique, weird way of building my business where I didn't have to do three-way calls, and I didn't really have to prospect unless somebody was already in, so I was never really talking to uninterested people, and I was able to pick up and move wherever I wanted and make money from countries I'd never been to, and I was able to do it without any paid advertising, without any hassle at all, working my business a couple hours a day. But I ran into a problem conveying that message to where other people weren't able to replicate those results quite as quickly and quite as fast as I was able to do them, because they had to go through a massive technical setup, and they had to go through a massive sales learning curve and a massive marketing learning curve to be able to do it. So Empower Network was created with the idea of taking that business and basically replicating that model to where basically all you had to do was just get in, just start blogging, and just attend the events, and that's basically it. Just follow the 8 core steps in the Fast Start training, and you're ready to go the second you decide to pull out your credit card and buy. Well, we replicated that model, and as a result of replicating that model, we were able to expand, not just larger than anybody had ever done in our space before, but we were able to expand this business model into other countries, into other languages, and having big events in Portugal, having big events in Brazil, having big events all popping up literally all over the world in languages that I don't speak, in countries where I've never set my foot on the soil in that country before. And it all started from this simple idea. So what I'm most excited about actually right now is Empower Network getting back to its roots, getting back to the core of its powerful message, but in a new way, in a way where we're bringing on the expertise of people that really are a lot smarter than us in the areas where they need to be. So you guys, what I want to say more than anything, I know I'm rambling a little bit, you're in the right place at the right time being on this page right now, and I just wanted to tell you that I appreciate you, because you are what makes the magic of this company possible. You're what keeps the magic of this company alive. And I believe in what we're doing. I believe in where we're going. I know I've been a little bit more quiet lately on the front end, but I haven't been quiet on the back end. I've been back here working with the teams, making sure that what we're doing is in alignment with the vision. The reason I've been doing that is because when we go out into the marketplace this time, I want to make sure that what it is that we're building lasts. I want to make sure that the content that you're putting out there is getting you the results that you want. And I want to make sure that we're doing it in a way this time where it's really open, applicable, and attractive to all the groups of people we really want to be marketing to out there. You know, Mars is one of the ones that brought this to my attention the strongest when he came into Empower Network. You know, he pointed out that just in the blogging market, for example, 70% of the bloggers out there online are women. And in the network marketing, you know, if you look at that in home business, right, 70% of people in home business are also women. You know, we built our company primarily, you know, marketing in a way that attracts guys, right? You know, using language that attracts guys, pictures that attract guys, headlines that attract guys. And we've still got hundreds of thousands of people involved like that. But we haven't really done it in a way that's attractive to the largest demographic that we have access to. We haven't really done it in a way that's attractive to the massive baby boomer generation that really want to be able to make money in a new and a different way. We haven't really done it in a way where we're focused on, rather than just going out there and being the best opportunity, we're also focused on building the best product. And so I've been back here working with the team, making sure that the real vision of what we have is done in a way that can help you create the result that you really want, which is really to have a business and a life at the same time, isn't it? Everybody on here, you guys are affiliates. Now, if this is out there to people that are affiliates, obviously you should pull out your credit card, buy, and join. But if you're an affiliate in this, you're really in this to make money and have a life at the same time. You're not in this to be probably the richest person in the world. Otherwise, you'd go start a software company or something like that and work 18 hours a day and not have a family. You're in this probably because you want to make money, you want to have a life, you want to be able to travel the world, you want to be able to love your kids, you want to be able to give them the future that they deserve. You want to be able to really be a part of inspiring other people's lives. You want to give some value to the world. You want to learn maybe in the process, you know. Kim Klaber's always pointing out, a lot of people in this industry, we sell quick and easy all the time. And she points out, the whole baby boomer generation is totally unattracted to that. Women are totally unattracted to that. That really they're not looking for quick and easy. They're looking for something that will last. They're looking for something that will have a future. They're looking for something that's going to challenge their mind, that's going to challenge their thinking abilities, that's going to challenge who they are. And in the process of being challenged, they're looking to win and to create something that gets them massive, big results. So we've learned a lot over the last few years. We've learned what got us where we are. We've learned what's going to get us to the next level. I'm super excited about the new marketing funnels Empower Network's releasing, the new checkout processes we're releasing, the new blogging platform we're releasing, the new back office that we're releasing all this month, the competitions that we're going to be releasing, helping people get results from the new blogging platform. I didn't even talk about that tonight. I just want to encourage you guys right now to do a couple of things. Number one, make sure you have your tickets to Las Vegas before the price increases, because I believe there's only a week left or something. Michelle said how long there is left, but pull out your credit card and get access right now, because the sooner you get your tickets, the more easy it's going to be to get other people to go with you toward the event. So what you want to do is you want to buy your tickets right now, and then you want to get as many people in your team to get those tickets as possible. If you've got a downline Empower Network, you want to go in the team emailer and say, get your tickets before the price increases. You want to buy your tickets right now. You want to go and hear Neil Patel speak in person. Maybe even get a chance to shake his hand. You want to go meet our leaders in person, get a chance to sit down with them, to mastermind, and to ask them questions, right? You want to be a part of what the things that we're releasing at the next event and the things that we're pre-releasing at the next event. You want to be there and be a part of history. So go ahead and buy your tickets now. The button's over there. Just pull out your credit card and buy your tickets right now. You want to do that immediately, right? And the next thing you want to do is you want to go out and get new team members to both get in and also get to the next event. Because, events have this really particular effect on people that I haven't really been able to replicate another way. We can do hangouts and stuff like this all day, and these are the next closest cool thing to meeting in person. It really is. You get to see a video. You get to hear somebody's voice. You get to hear that they're a real person. You get to kind of see the compassion in somebody's eyes, and you get to feel kind of more of their heart when you get to see somebody and you get to hear them in a video. But getting to meet somebody in person and getting to see all those people across the stage and talking to people and asking them questions who are getting maybe just a little bit more results than you, there's no real way to replicate that. And you have an opportunity to do that in one of the cheapest places to fly to in the world. Las Vegas, because of the gambling, has made it one of the most convenient places to travel in the United States. It's the cheapest place to fly. It's easier to fly there. It's easy to stay there in hotels. There's a million cheap hotels there in addition to where we're staying, if it's too expensive for you, which I think it's pretty cheap too. Because they want you to go there, and the cool thing is there's all sorts of fun things you can do when you're there. So it's going to be easier for you to get there. It's also going to be easier for you to get a team there than it is really anywhere else in the United States. I want to encourage you to bring as many people as you can. If you're in my team and you don't go, you're not in my team anymore as far as I'm concerned. It's Las Vegas. Come on, let's go hang out, right? Do what you can to get your butt to Las Vegas, right? Get as many people there as possible. Then we're going to come out there and we're going to create an army of people creating content. The things that are going to fix our problems really this next year, from really when we started, we created a lot of amazing things, and in the process we created our own problems, right? We had this great, amazing group of people getting results by blogging, but we had people that weren't really doing value-based blogging. They were just writing blog posts about why they joined Empower Network. Now, that was by far the minority of people in Empower Network, right? There were people that were just popping on like how to get rich quick and easy and writing a post about that, right? Rather than writing about things that got them value. But all the traffic and all the sales that were being generated in Empower Network were coming from people like Justin Ferengi, who were actually creating valuable content and sharing those ideas with the world, right? I want to encourage you to do that. We're going to teach you guys the skills on how to get real results doing it this time around. The tactical strategies from people that actually have tactical minds, not idea minds like me, right? I could just tell stories for hours and hours and hours and hours. But that's why we're bringing Neil Patel in. That's why if you hear Lawrence Tam, he's kind of talking about blogging with a different tone. He's taking it on as a new form of study. If you look around this board of people, that's why they're all excited. That's why they have kind of a fire in their eyes about it. And you're going to get to see that fire at this next event. So what I want to encourage you to do, once again, is get your tickets before time runs out. Come see Neil Patel in person. Come see this group of people in person, and let's lock arms, let's fight the forces of evil, and make this event what the name is, which is nothing short of a revolution. And the revolution begins with you making a decision to go. So if you've decided to go to the event, I just want to hear from you in the comments. If you bought your tickets already, if you already had your tickets from the event, just say, I've got my tickets, I'm going to be there. See, I want to know if you're going to see us in Las Vegas. Just tell us in the comments if you bought your tickets. Michelle, thank you for buying your tickets. See you in Las Vegas, Justin. Roger, thanks for being there. Denise, Tiffany, Aaron. See you guys. Steven, congratulations on buying your tickets. You bought them at the last event, right? Trying to buy, getting error messages, keep trying to buy. There might just be too many people ordering. Caleb, Alicia, thanks for buying your tickets. Joe Chance, thanks for buying. Guys, I will see you at the next event. I appreciate you all. Thank you all for coming and hanging out tonight for an hour and a half or whatever we've been on here. I'm going to go ahead and end the broadcast, chat with these guys here for a couple minutes, and then I got to go hang out with the fam. So I appreciate all of you, and I will talk to you at the next event. Let's go ahead and end the broadcast, guys, unless somebody else is supposed to come on and end it, in which case I'll turn it back over to whoever that is.